Hello everybody and welcome again to Weekly Inspiration. Parashat Shavua. Portion of this week is Shlach Lecha. Shlach Lecha, the story itself, which is the vessel that contain within the vessel pnimiyut, meaning. And if we are reading the story as it is, we're going to get the cup, but we're not going to get what the cup is contain. And the importance of Pnimiyut Torah is to see what the cup contain. That's what it's all about in Vital, in Weekly Inspiration, and study of Kabbalah and Chassidut. Why we study Kabbalah and Chassidut together as the internal meaning of our Torah is to make sure that through this internal meaning of the Torah that comes from both sides, Arizal, Baal Shem Tov. Because we say, Tovim Ashnayim min ha'echad. Better two than one. So let's begin from actually a book of Chassidut called Ma'or Enaim. Usually I start with the Zohar, but what I want to do this week with you guys is to make sure that I'm explaining things which are pretty profound and deep in Kabbalah, but that will be able to understood by every human being on this planet. And for you, it will be easier just to click and share it with your friend, so to make sure that it'll be easy for them to capture the message, to understand, and of course share it with others. So our universe, our life will be better from every angle. So here we go, I'm reading from Me'or Enaim. Me'or Enaim is the name of the book, written by Rabbi Mordechai from Chernobyl, okay? I'm sorry, Rabbi Menachem, Nachum in Chernobyl, I should say. Okay? And what can I say about the book? The book, for some reason, is going bad vevad, as we say, in the same level of where the Zohar go, not level spirituality. If the Zohar talk about a certain subject that week, somehow Ma'or Enaim talk about the same. And that's why I chose, or the book chose me to speak about it in this week. So here we go. I hope I will be able to pass to you whatever the book passed to me. B'Masechet Sotah, Ma'or Enaim start bringing a section in the Talmud from Sotah, Lamed Dalet Amud Bet, page 34, second paragraph, Amud Bet. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, that's in the Talmud. Say Rabbi Yitzchak, דבר זה מסורת בידינו, מאבותינו מרגלים, על שם מעשיהם נקראים. And I should stop and tell you the story of the parashah, which I didn't. Moses is basically told by God to send a messenger or a tourist or a spy for him, for Moses, not for God. So somehow God commanded him, but he say Lecha, Shlach Lecha, for you. And unfortunately those spies came up with a bad report. And because of that bad report, we have a negative day for the rest of our life until the Messiah will come. What is the day that they come back with a bad report? Tisha B'Av. 9 B'Av, they coming with a bad report. Everybody cry. And Hashem said, you cry, you caused yourself to cry for no reason for the rest of the generation. At the same time, I need to remind you that in 9 of Av, the Messiah is supposed to be born. That's why the entire Ma'or Enaim, Zohar, Kedushat HaLevi, Rabbi Elimelech of Lizensk, all of them are revealed to us the Messiah. Why they are revealed to us the Messiah in this week parashah? Well, every time that you're going through Achoraim, every time that you're going through a rough time in your life, that's create a vessel. a container, a desire for something wonderful and incredible to happen in your life. So pain is not happening for no other reason than wake you up to desire better life. Sometimes we don't have desire for good life. Sometimes we have to go to the bottom to desire it. Unfortunately, the spy couldn't hold the temptation from giving the bad report, as Kerem Shlomo writes, and because they came up with a bad report it is. 9 of Av. במסכת סוטה, it's in מסכת סוטה, going back, what is this whole idea of meraglim? So מסכת סוטה say that all their name, if you look at their name, סטור, שסתר מעשיו של הקדוש ברוך הוא, that he hidden or went against Hashem. Michael, another messenger, is mach, meaning he was crushing it. So they go to Nachvi ben Vavsi, Nachbi שהחביא דבריו של הקדוש ברוך הוא, that he hide the words of Hashem. And Vavsi שפסל מידותיו, that he skip over the midot of Kadosh Baruch Hu. So of course that's what Masechet Sota write about the spy. להבין זה נקדים, if we want to understand it, we have to go to Rashi. Rashi said, Shlach Lecha לדעתך. Send those messengers, send those spies to your opinion. I am not command you. If you want to do it, do it. דנודע מה שפירש בזוהר, in the Zohar it say, כל הפרשה של מרגלים בדרך המושכלות מבחינת ארץ העליונה. The Zohar said, no, the whole idea of the spy has to do with the spiritual land that exists in the upper world. כי באמת הפשוט, because if we look at the simple part, והפנימיות, and the internal meaning of it, in the same time, ידוע, it's known already, שארץ ישראל היא החומר והכלי של עולם הבא. What was the point of go and spy on the land of Israel? Are we actually talking about the land of Israel? According to the Zohar, we're talking about the kli of Olam Haba, the vessel of the world to come. שעל ידה הוא דרך מבוא לעולם הבא. Through the vessel of Olam Haba, the vessel of Olam Haba, the vessel of the world to come, is the land of Israel. היותר נקל מן העובד בחוץ לארץ כאומרם ז"ל. For that reason, it's in כתובות, it's easier to worship Hashem from ארץ ישראל. For that reason, in כתובות, it says, כל הדר בארץ ישראל תומש כמי שיש לו אלוה. Whoever live in the land of Israel, it is as if he has God, and whoever live outside of Israel, it seems like he worship idol. And of course, what does that mean? It means that every other land, there is a minister who is in charge, and the land of Israel, the only land that the in charge of it is God himself. So when you are worship or do different thing outside in Israel, different mitzvot, this is as if you worship that minister instead of God. It's a problem. So there is machloket. Machloket is, do you do mitzvot outside of Eretz Israel? You don't do mitzvot. You can look at the Rambam. It's a beautiful Rambam there. And we continue. The Kit Ve'ari said, ונמצא, שהעבודה השלמה לזכות לארץ אולי ארץ החיים, פנימות מבחינת ארץ ישראל, ודרך הנקל בארץ ישראל. If a person wants truly to connect to Olam Haba, truly connect to spirituality, the easiest place to be will be in the land of Israel. לכן מן הפשוט, תבין, בכללם הרמב"ם, הלכות תשובה, שכיוון הכל צפוי וכלול לו יתברך שמביט סוף דבר ברשתו, כן יצירת האדם מביט מה שיהיה צדיק או רשע, ודעתו בוודאי לא ישונה, וכן אחר ישוד את עולם, לעולם לא יבחר לטוב ורע. So the Rambam is raising a question that Maorenheim is bringing. If God already know everything that's supposed to happen, okay, what is the free will for? What is going on? מאחר שגזרה כבר ידיעתו יתברך, איך שלא יהיה שונה? How is it not going to be different? I asked that question when I was 7.5 years old. The amount of rabbi who came to see me after that make me panic, maybe I did something wrong. אך העניין הוא, דנודע מהות הבחירה, to understand what is that free will versus everything is predetermined, של טוב ורע ומצד שבירת הכלים. This is, Maorenheim is taking us to one of the deepest secrets of Kabbalah. And I will do the best I can to explain it. because it's connected to the Zohar that I'm going to explain right after that. שבירת הכלים, שהיה הוא יתברך בונה עולמות ומחריבם. What is שבירת הכלים? Breaking of the vessel. What is vessel? Desire. שהוא סוד שבירת הכלים של העולמות הנזכרים. Everything fall apart in creation, before the creation of us, and the mix of good and bad took a place, and then we have a choice to choose between good or bad. So we can have reward or punishment. כי בלא זה לא היה תענוג לא יתברך בין עבודת התחתונים, בני ישראל. Otherwise, there is no pleasure to give to the Creator from your spiritual work. כי כל עיקר תענוג הבורא יתברך, שמו ובריאותו העולמות, the all joy that you can give to Hashem, לעשות נחת רוח, ובשביל ישראל שיתענג על ידי עבודתם. That בני ישראל will have pleasure by working on themselves, even they are mixed with good and bad. אבל אם לא היה רע, if they wouldn't have anything bad, it would be no elevation. They would be like angels. So Hashem wants us to be mixed with good and bad. So every day we work on ourselves and we're growing and we're fighting and we're falling and we're fighting. That's a beautiful thing about spirituality. I'm sure some of you wonder, hey, are we still talking about the spy? We're coming back to it. הכל בסדר. ונודע כי הסיבה המביא לבחירה, the idea of giving you choice, דרך חכם מטוב ורע, from good or bad, is through your knowledge. כי אם אין דעת הבדלה מניין. As it's written, if you don't have knowledge, how are you going to make separation between good or bad? Like it's saying in the Gemara in Yerushalmi, מפני מה תקנו הבדלה בכונן הדעת? Why they put the blessing המבדיל בין קודש לחול בין ישראל לעמים that we say מוצאי שבת? Why we put it דווקא in the blessing of דעת? Because the knowledge help you to different between the good and the bad. ונודע שהדעת הוא אחד ממותיו של הקדוש ברוך הוא. And we know that is one of the sfirot. It's not actually one of the 10, but it's one of the aspects of the dat of Kadosh Baruch Hu. So when there is broken vessel, which is broken desire, what is broken vessels? Meaning that your desire, every day you want something else. Today you want this, tomorrow you want that. You're never satisfied because you didn't make birurin. You didn't make really clarification about your desire. וכמו כן בכל המידות שהן בשבירה, יראה לשורש מאין שורשו. So whatever broke and fall apart, you have to look for the roots. Who's teaching us that? Baal Shem Tov Kodesh Kodashim. What does the Baal Shem Tov talk about? Sometimes people have Ahava Ra'ah. Ahava Ra'ah meaning loving for the wrong thing. Loving for drugs, loving for cheating, loving for stealing. Person has that passion to do that. So if a person has a passion to do that, loving for pressing a red button so a missile will fly out. When a person has love for the wrong thing, Yachshov, he has to think, if we talk about that those desires broke and fell down to us, Yachshov, הלא זה נפלה מעולם האהבה. Why do I love the wrong thing? Because there is one aspect of love that fell down to the dark side. So it's still love there, but I'm loving the wrong thing. So when a person starts using drugs, heavy-duty drugs, the love itself is not the sin. The love for that specific drugs that kill you is the problem. Then you worship God with love. And awakening that broken vessel that fell into you, and you go ahead and fix it. And you love God, and God love you back. There is a loving relationship. And that's why the bad and the good are mixing together. We all have love for the wrong things. Some people love sugar. Some people love attention. Why you love attention? Why you like respect? Why you like kavod? Kavod, pride, respect. You love it. But kavod is for Hashem. But the piece of that kavod for Hashem fell down. So what do? We're loving it. Loving it is the wrong thing to do. Understanding it, that it's there in my domain for a reason, that's a very important thing to do. Baal Shem Tov writes on Va'ikra Kaf Yud Zayin, chapter 20, verse 17, it say, Ve'ish ki yikach et achoto. If a man take his sister, which is gilui arayot, adultery, chesed hu. How come the Torah call it chesed hu? I mean, if you look at the Arizal, it says that he reincarnated in a bird, it's called a chasidah. That's one of the things. But why is it called a chesed? Because chesed is ahava shel ha'arayot, the sexuality, the wrong sexuality. Where does it come from? Why does a person want to make love to the wrong people? Because that aspect of loving something, a sin that includes love, it means it fell down from the level of chesed. מעולם החסד שהוא עולם האהבה, which is the place of love. וצריך אתה לברור מן הרע לקשריה לשורש. So you need to take the selfish aspect of it and take that love and bring it back to the roots wherever it belongs. ולא למשוך אחר הרע שבתוכו. And don't let your selfish aspect, the ego aspect, to be attached to the vessel of that love, because that vessel of love can be covered by wrong sexuality, wrong drugs, stealing, pride. But the love that within it, it's very important. You got to take that love. If you love doing it, that passion you have within you to do it, that love, it's not a sin. Doing it is the sin. If a man or a woman want to be with another partner, which is against the laws of the Torah, that means they love to share their body, their soul with another human being. That means they want to give more, or they want to connect more with the other person. That need is coming from the world of ahava. Acting on it will be coming from the dark side. I hope it's clear. It's kind of deep, but I'm trying to do the best I can to explain עולם נקודים או כלים הנשברים, and then I will explain it through the Zohar. וכן בכל המידות, גם כן עיקר העבדות הוא כך, שעל זה מצפה משיח צדקנו, שנבוא לזה בהדרגה. Here come מאור עיניים into exactly what the Zohar write. The Messiah waiting only for us to do that. You can't hate your Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara is going what? After what? There is two types of Yetzer Hara. You will know who are you. If you are Gvura Yetzer Hara, then your Yetzer Hara want to be vicious toward other people. If your Yetzer Hara by the way translate into evil inclination. If your evil inclination is coming from a place of love, you will love to do things that Torah does not permit you to do. Cheating on your husband or wife. Why do you want to cheat? Because you want to give more. You want to love more. You believe that amount of love you have in your heart is 100. And what you do with your marriage, you can only give 50 or 60 or 70. But there is still 30% of part of you you want to give more love. So what do? You fall into different category of sin and crime. You meant well. You meant justice. But unfortunately, you need to know more. According to Kabbalah, those aspects of diamond, of love that fell down to the world are covered by all kind of ego and selfishness. And when you have an affinity between your ego and the aspect where it falls into, you're doing something called chet. Chet comes from the word of missing the target, meaning you're missing the target why it came into your life. Shenavo, so the Messiah is expecting us to get to that level so we can do sifting. שמולבש בו על ידי השבירה, because זה אי אפשר כי אם על ידי דעת. You only can do it with knowledge. So Hashem give you the knowledge and you're supposed to sifting between good and bad. That means, yes, the bchira. So what is the bchira? Where is the free will? Going back to the answer from the Rambam. כי באמת הבחירה אינו בהפך מידיעתו של הבורא. It's not the opposite of what God. It's going back to the roots of God. The point is time. When you're going to do that in the right way. You have the knowledge and you can do it in the right time, or you have to wait for your lifetime until you're going to do it. So when the Israelites want to get to the Israel, okay, they use Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is B'chinat Da'at, come from Da'at. And that is to know the difference between good or bad. That's why he asking the spy, he said, Ayesh ba'etz im ayin. Is there a tree there or there isn't? That's what Moshe Rabbeinu is asking the spy. Unfortunately, some people making it and some people don't. It has to do with mitzvah that called yir'ah. According to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, this mitzvah is the most important mitzvah that there is. Yir'ah, an awe. Okay? And if you're thinking that there is no way that you can separate the good from the bad, you consider a wicked. The tzaddik say, Krova Yeshuato lavo. The redemption is about to come. So let me make sure. So when Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Shlach Lecha, meaning I gave a human being a choice to choose to be the right thing, and you can do it or you don't have to do it. But it's up to the person. Or it's in Dvarim Ubacharta B'chaim. It's up to you to do whatever you're gonna do. The broken of the vessel happened in a certain location in Kabbalah called belly buttons and below, meaning it has to do only on things that we desire. And our job is to elevate it to wherever it belongs. The spy, unfortunately, fell in their mission. That's why when they came back, they didn't find what's good about the land. They find what's wrong with it. But their mission was not to find out if it's good or bad. The mission was Shvirat HaKelim. Their mission it was to be elevating everything to its roots. So let's think about it for a second. You have jealousy. How do you deal with jealousy? What is jealousy? You want what the other person has. Why? Because that part that the other person has, you're supposed to have it too. But it came down to this world, shabu, broken. What is broken? Your desire is broken. That you cannot have it. So what do you do when your desire is broken? You replace it with jealousy. Instead of understanding that peace that your friend has and you don't, should be happy. Oh, Baruch Hashem, they have it. Because I have the same part until my desire will be coming from the right place, from yir'ah, from understanding that I have to change something about me, that my life will be better. Not that I have to change something about life, that my life will be better. This is for Ma'or and I. Now I'm going to take you to the Zohar, and I will do the best I can to explain to you the deepest Zohar, one of the deepest Zohar that exists in Sulam Shlach Lecha. The Zohar, I recommend to those of you who read Hebrew or English, in Kuf Mem Vav, Seif Kuf Mem Vav, meaning 146. They talk about Mashiach. I'm not going to read the whole section because it's not the easy section, but I'm going to jump into Kuf Nun in the middle of the section where Rabbi Yehuda Ashlag explained to us what is Mashiach. ביאור המאמר, נודע ששבירת הכלים, broken of the vessel, we just talked about in מאור עיניים, נשברו לשח ניצוצים. Everything broke to 320 pieces. Each ספירה, with 10 ספירות, each one of them got 32. Now, the malchuyot, the bottom, cannot get light because there is tzimtzum. So what happened? 32 cannot be fixed because the 32 is belong to what we call lev ha'evan. Lev ha'evan. What is lev ha'evan? Heart of stone. Why do we call it heart? Because lev is 32. So 10 times 32 is 320. 320 minus 32, 288. What we're doing in this life with our free will and different things, Maor and I'm explain, we're choosing. We're choosing good from bad. How do you choose well or you choose not well? That, my friend, depends on your yir'ah, according to Maor and I'm. To truly understand yir'ah, please listen to some of my lectures. And I did a lecture where they talk about the 14 mitzvot from the Akdama of the Zohar. I hope my team will put a connection in this video to that video. It's a video I did about 2.5 years ago on Vital, when I explained the 14:18. You don't have to listen to all of it, but just listen for the first part when I talk about yir'ah. Because if you want to be sifting between good and bad, you have to have yir'ah. What is yir'ah? Is it fear? Also. Is it respect? Also. Is it awareness that God is the ruler of everything? Also. So which one is that? All of the above. Fear, respect, awareness. Fear, respect, awareness. Why do we need all of it? Well, before you do sifting, if you do sifting and it's you, then the end result of sifting will be just you. But when you understand that God give you a chance to do sifting, birurim, because the good thing fell into the dark thing, and your job is to be able to separate the good from the bad, that's what elevates you. You have desire for the wrong thing. You're about to get married. Your desire to marry this man, this is the man you want. All of a sudden, you went shopping for some cookies, many times it happened, and you get attention from a different man. He's not a good looking man, he's not well educated, but the tension was so strong there that you start doubting if you should marry your man. What do? Why is that part in your life? Why? Why do you have it? Nothing is wrong about this universe. So the passion or the love or the connection that you have to the soul of that man has connection. There is a connection. There is no lie about it. For sure there is a connection. But your job is not to let your desire connect into what you desire. Your desire connected to what you want. You gotta get to a place with yir'ah, fear, respect, awareness. Elevate that piece of love that you have toward them, because that piece of love you have toward them fell from the universe of love, everything broken. And my job is to elevate it back. Or could be that man that give you attention in the supermarket, next to the cookie on the shelf. Son will marry your daughter, they are soulmate. That's why there is connection. It's not you, but the generation after. If you get the ego out of it, you see the whole picture. Nothing is a mistake. Even the wrong things are not a mistake. Let's say, I'm talking about only when there is love, not when there is a fight between people, when there is actually a connection. I hope it's clear. So we have שח ניצוצים, והם נתקנו על ידי המאציל, נטרו בעולם התיקון. אחר כך על ידי חטא של עץ הדעת, חזרו נפלו לקליפות. All those ניצוצות fell to the dark side. אמנם אין ביכולתנו לתקן כל השח. We cannot fix all those 320, but we can fix 9 times 32. It's called 288. The last one can only fix by the Messiah. It's called Man'ula, the lock. The place which is untouchable, unachievable by human. So what is it that you can fix? You can fix Retzonot Shburim. You can fix broken desire. Different type of desire that you have every day. For the wrong thing. Or for the right thing, but it makes you addictive. But the original desire, Malchut of Malchut, if you want to call it, or the last 32 Nitzotzot, that can fix only by the Messiah, because the Messiah, Ben David, coming from where? Malchut, meaning he's controlling the lowest level. And the lowest level, those of you who understand the concept called Or Chozer, returning light, is connected to the highest level. Because if you look at life, whatever comes from above also will come from below. So from below, the bottom is the beginning. We cannot be in that bottom, only the Messiah. Messiah cannot appear until we fix the first 9 levels. Every mitzvah you do, specifically lo taseh, is elevating more of those 288 nitzotzot. And once we all going to do that together, and we understand that we have to follow the rules of the Torah, not because it's a punishment, my friend, not because God had nothing else to do and he wrote a non-perfect Torah. We know the Torah is so perfect just by looking at the Ilchot Kashrut, when they mention that there is one specific 4 animals that are different from the rules of the other animal. That they mentioned the pig and so on and so on. Why do they have to mention those 4 animals? Why we couldn't find something else? No, the Torah was exact on that. Biology or chemistry. So I know that some people doubting our Torah, they bring the section of Aguna. If a woman, husband is cannot find, as the Gemara says, Alach lemdinat hayam, is going to the ocean and his body cannot be found. And this wife can never be married again. She's Aguna. If she's going to give birth to a child and she sleep with another man, the child will be mamzer. Mamzer. Or in English, bastard. Mamzer, mem is a 40. The other mem is a 40. Right? And Zayin is 7. And the Resh is 200. What do we got? 287 together with the word itself, 288. What did I say about 9 times 32? 288. The mamzer cannot be part of Ka'al Israel. So it's not about punishing or God was in a bad mood. There is a way of how to operate all this beautiful energy. When you become too religious, you missed it. When you become against religious of Jewish people, you missed it too. What do you need to do? You got to learn. If you don't learn, it's like me waking up in the morning and say, I'm done with gravity. I don't believe in it anymore. How stupid is that? You need to know. That's what we're teaching. כל התיקון האמור מקבל מלך המשיח וגואל את ישראל. כל התיקון האמור מקבל מלך המשיח וגומר את ישראל. And what he say? מתקן את העולם עד למדרגה האחרונה. And he fixing the whole idea until המדרגה האחרונה, because the last מדרגה cannot be fixed by us. We can only fix the first 9 מדרגות. But can the Mashiach come to do something without us? No. על כן נבחן גמר התיקון למלכות, מלך המשיח ששמים עטרת פז על ראשו. That's what the Zohar said, that for that reason we put the glory on the head of the Mashiach. Who put the glory? Us. When we make the difference between good and bad. When we make birurim or shvirat hakelim, or as ba'or enayim, right, based on the Baal Shem Tov, that even the worst sin that you have a pleasure to do, the reason you have so much passion to do that specific sin is because that sin was an energy that fell from Olam Ha'ava and was captured by the klipot. It's a nitzotz. The nitzotz itself is still pure. But the klipot in themselves are unfortunately captured. And if you let your ego connect to the klipot to capture it, you're missing the whole nitzotz. And that nitzotz can never go back. So the Mashiach depends on us. How long is Mashiach is waiting for us? What's the deadline? 6,000 years. Where are we? We are around the 5,700. So we're kind of close, but we're not. Because we have to wake up everybody to understand what we're doing. You can be a wonderful rabbi. You can be a wonderful Baal Tshuva or get closer to God or philosophy. But you can be missing the whole point. That what are you doing here? I am here to elevate all the spark of Kedusha from the bottom to above, with Yir'ah, that divided to 3 levels of Yir'ah, and through that, I'm turning the Manu'ula into Maftucha, meaning I'm turning the Malchut, HaMesayemet, LeMalchut HaMezaveget. I'm turning the aspect of desire in me from creating an end because I'm busy with myself into an aspect of reflecting on others. כי הערות כל 2,000 שנה אינן מקובלות כמלכות דבבטחה שיסוד מלכות. Because all the work we do cannot be nourishing the bottom line. So it's Mashiach is sitting and waiting for us. And B'ezras Hashem, when we're going to do the job, then we'll be able to do this all tikkun olam, tikkun for everybody else, and we can truly make it happen. The question I want to think it's important to ask, why the Arizal talk about Mashiach, the Zohar talk about Mashiach, Ma'or Enaim talk about Mashiach, Noam Elimelech talk about Mashiach, Kedushat Levi talk about Mashiach, Kerem Shlomo talk about Mashiach. This entire section is about Mashiach. And even my friend Michael Englander brought to my attention in Shar Psukim, Parashat Shmot, that when Yosef HaTzadik blaming his brother for Beraglim Atem, the brother are spy, even there is a hint about what's going to happen to us. If you look at Vayechi, okay, you look at Vayechi, the end of Bereshit, when Yaakov tells the brothers, Re'u, come and behold what's going to happen to you Be'acharit Hayamim, Moshe Rabbeinu try to do it as well. And all the idea is to tikkun hakelim l'nishbarim, to fix those broken vessels. So if you think about it, what is the two Mashiachim? Where are they coming from? One Mashiach come from the house of Yosef, and another Mashiach come from the house of King David. Let's find them in our story. In our story we have two messengers. One is Yoshua, two messengers who made it. The one who didn't cause us to have Tisha B'Av every year. Yoshua come from the tribe of Ephraim. Basically, Moses blessed him, and that's why he made it. What about Caleb? Caleb actually come from Yehuda. What is Yehuda? Yehuda is David, is Mashiach ben David. So Caleb is basically Mashiach ben David. No coincidence, Caleb is also 52. Okay, 52, 2 times Yud Kevavke, or Yashar or Choser, or Eliyahu. So we are talking about now that what Yehuda is doing, or what Caleb is doing, is going to Hebron, to where Abraham, Isaac, Jacob is buried, where Sarah, Rebecca, and Leah buried, where Adam and Eve are buried, where the head of Esau is buried. He goes to get energy, to overcome the temptation. Remember what I talked about, temptation before. The temptation is there because he just found the peace of God that fell down to this world from the Echal Ha'ava, from the place called Chamber of Love. And that's why you love doing it. I have to do that. I need kavod. I need lust. I need something. But if you don't let Yir'ah and the ego to work on it, you're going to be busy with the shell of that love instead of the love itself. It's a chaval. It's a chaval to fall into that level. So let's go back to our question. Let's go back to our story. Mashiach ben David is called Taruta de la Tata. And again, this is my explanation. I couldn't find it in any book, but I'm still going to share that explanation anyway. Mashiach ben Yosef is Taruta de Leela. It's always going to be here. Every generation you have the Messiah of Yosef. It's going to be a rabbi that make it different, or a teacher that go ahead and tell people how things can be better. Mashiach ben David is different. Mashiach ben David is the one who come in the end. Now, Mashiach ben David has to be awakening from below. Where is it? It's inside of us, my friend. Each and every one of us contributing to Mashiach ben David. How? By metaken et rapach nitzotzek d'kedusha. By fixing through the Yir'ah, which is the most important mitzvah in the Torah. We can fix slowly the thing that we have loved toward that are the wrong thing for us. Once we fix that, then Mashiach ben David says, okay, now I'm ready. I can fix the rest of the 32. That's why we can find the Mashiach even within this parashah, which is very, very important. Another thing I want to share with you, Kerem Shlomo writes something that I want to share as well about this week parashah. And I put a note here. אמנם ידע משה רבנו כי קדושת ארץ ישראל תלוי בבני אדם. I'm reading from Kerem Shlomo, עמוד רש עין א', whoever has it. קדושת ארץ ישראל תלוי בבני אדם, הדרים בתוכה. the holiness of the land of Israel, it only depends on the people who are living in Eretz Israel. Can you imagine? Even the land of Israel is holy, it's only corresponding to the people who are living there. How do we know that? זה כרב שלמה, ולא תטמא את הארץ אשר אתם יושבים בה, אשר אני שוכן בתוכה. God is telling the people in parashat Mas'eh, please do not create impurity within the land that I'm living on, which is Israel. אם חס ושלום דרים בארץ של אנשים רעים, if there is bad people there, אז השכינה מסתלקת. Then the Shekhinah is going away from the land of Israel. והטומאה נמשכת בתוך האדמה, and the impurity come in. וגם בפירות, and it's only go to the fruit and the vegetables as well. For that reason, Moshe Rabbeinu sent important people, okay? So you want to see the most important people when they walk in. Once they walk in, even if there is bad people, they will be able to know Ayesh ba'etz im ayin, if there is tree of life or there is no tree of life. ומה טעמה ציווה להם להשגח בעין פקיחה, שיהיה החיצוניות והפנימיות שווים. Exactly what מאור עיניים in the Zohar said. Again, בירורים, sifting, that they can find out, והזהירם בזרע כפולה, ראיתם את הארץ מהי הטובה עם רעה, שלא תהיה טובה מצד אחד ורעה מצד שני, כי אם הפנימיות וגם החיצונית יהיו כולם שווים לטובה. He sent them to find out that they are capable of seeing the good and the bad for a reason. Because remember, once you feel bad, it's a thought that you have to elevate. Once you feel good, it's a fulfilling. So it's a very important thing, because if you look at Rashi say that the fruit will be tested like the tree, because no difference between the chitzoni ve-primi. So what we learn from Kerem Shlomo? What happened? What they were missing? They were missing because they look at bad thing as a bad thing and good thing as a good thing. We cannot look at bad thing as a bad thing. Bad thing is how you wrapped your gift. Good thing, it is the gift without wrapping it. So what is it? Well, you need the wrap. The wrap, what you're wrapping with, in the old days you used to use old newspaper. Those of you are old enough. That's how you wrap things. Is that mean that you're interested in the newspaper of 2 days ago? No, you're not. But you're interested in what's inside. Today, people value a lot of time the clipboard, the shell, the outside of the gift. Oh my God, the outside of the gift sometimes look way better than the gift that you're kind of embarrassed to put it in such a fancy box. Because the box looks so fancy that what inside doesn't look that great. Life change. People busy with the chitzoniut, with the external. So Kerem Shlomo is teaching us a lesson. The spy went to Eretz Israel, and when they saw all the lust and the cheating and the stealing and the anakim, they said, why should we bring our brother and sister into a land like this? They were not wrong from the intellectual point of view. But that means that Hashem is not giving us tools how to sift good from bad and bring the Mashiach, which is called Shvirat HaKelim. Hashem give us the tool. What is the number one tool? I said before, Yirah. What is Yirah included? 3 levels: fear, respect, and awareness. Once you have that toward Hashem, toward the Creator, when you come to sift, you're going to do it in the right way. And let me move on into Noam Elimelech. I know that today's lecture is kind of, I'm jumping from many, many books, but I want you to get the concept of my Messiah, the concept of Shvirat HaKelim, and sifting, which is not easy concept in Kabbalah, by the way. So, the Noam Elimelech in Resh Kufchet, in this type of print, I don't know if, it says like this, וידוע שעץ הרע נקרא ar. When they say עלו זה בהר, when Moshe Rabbeinu said to him, go in the mountain, so he meant the evil inclination called mountain. שאמרו בגמרא, it says in the Gemara, the tzaddikim look at it the mountain, and a person needs to worship God, shnei yetzarim. You have to worship God through the good side and the bad side. You cannot worship God just the good, perfect side of yourself, my dear. God created you mix of good and bad for a reason, so you can sift good from bad in this universe. There is good and bad in the universe. You have good that attached to the good part of the universe. That's one avodah, mitzvot aseh. And you have the bad side of you that attached to the bad side of this universe. That's לא תעשה, that's the evil side. כי אדם צריך לתקן עצמו עד היצר הרע, גם כן ישלים איתו כמאמר הכתוב. Also connect to שבירת הכלים. Also connect to Mashiach. also connect to nitzotzim. All the books of Kabbalah and Pnimiut and Hasidut, mamash is the same thing as the Zohar. The same, all of them are following the Zohar without they saying it, but you have to find it. You have to study a certain amount of time to see that. So, what does it say? אדם צריך לעבוד הבורא בשני יצרים, כי אדם צריך לתקן עצמו שיצר הרע גם כן ישלים. ברצות השם דרכי איש, גם אויביו ישלים אותו. וזה אמר משה לישראל, עלו זה בנגב. So Moshe said to the spy, go up the Negev. The Negev is the south, the desert. פירוש תעלו עצמכם לחוכמה העליונה. What does that mean? Elevate yourself to the highest wisdom, ועליתם את ההר, and you climb above the mountain, which is the evil inclination. You have to also be the evil inclination, that's called mountain. And then you're going to see if the land is strong or weak. פירוש שהצדיק העולה ממדרגה למדרגה, הוא תמיד בדבקות. When you have יראה, when you have wonderful יראה toward the Creator, when you have an awe, when you have respect, when you have awareness toward the Creator, then you also look at the bad things as a necessity. There is a reason why Hashem put the temptation from you to that man, or from a man toward a woman, or from you toward the money of your friend. All of those temptations that Hashem put there to Yetzer Hara, there is birurim. There is a work to do on. And that's your job to do the work. But don't look at it like it's Chas Shalom. It was a mistake. Your job is to do the sifting between good and bad. But when you love the bad thing, then understand that within that bad thing there is a nitzotz. There's a spark of Kedusha that fell down. And your job is to take it out. If you come to take it out with ego, no yir'ah, unfortunately, you will never elevate that nitzotz. You will fall into the vessel of that nitzotz, to the klipot. If you came there and you understand, okay, I have temptation that toward this woman, toward this man, because I know that our children one day will be soulmate. Oh, now you know that the temptation you have toward them is not real temptation. It's a love that the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, tried to convince you that it is a temptation. So again, Noam Elimelech, the same point to do the same thing that the Zohar is telling us to do the sifting. And now I'm going to Kedushat Alevi. What I'm doing today, I'm going to make sure that I'm connecting all the wire to show you the beauty of our Torah. And whoever knows Kabbalah can find within Hasidut how Kabbalah is actually there. Look how Kedushat Alevi starts. Just to show you, when you decide to see how the Zohar is in every book of Tzaddikim, you can find it. But if you don't want to see it, you're not going to see it. Parashat Shlach Lecha, Kedushat Alevi. You want to know how he starts? Shlach Lecha Anashim. Aklal, look what he says. She'adam Yisrael ba'el makom echad. When somebody from the Israel had come to one place, ועובד Hashem sham, and he worship Hashem there, אז כל הניצוצות אשר שם הם מתביישים ממנו. All the spark of light. Remember what we talk about the Zohar? 320? כי הוא מגלה שורש ועיקר הבריאה. The person is discovered the meaning of creation, say קדושת הלוי. מאמר חז"ל שבת ל"א עמוד ב', from the Gemara in Shabbat, לא ברא הקדוש ברוך הוא. God only created the world so we can do sifting. ואז בקל יכול לכבוש אותם. Then you can conquer them. וזה הייתה כוונת שילוח המרגלים. That was the only purpose of sending the מרגלים. The מרגלים came to Eretz Israel to do the sifting. Not to find out if it's good or bad. What Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't tell what it is. God didn't tell him what it is. Everything was there. אבל האדם צריך לפשוט עצמו בגשמיות. How do you do this תיקון? say קדושת הלוי. What do you need to do to elevate those spark of light? לפשוט עצמו מגשמיות. Undress yourself from your body, from your money, from your domain, from your house. See yourself without nothing. בכדי שיתביישו בלפניו כל הניצוצות. So then the ניצוצות, once you undress yourself, what is a ניצוץ? You can translate ניצוץ as אור חוזר, returning light. You can translate ניצוץ as a spark of light that came from above to below. You can translate ניצוצות as a spark that's waiting for you to elevate it. So that's mean there is no levushim, no clothing to it. So when you undress yourself from all your ego, from everything, then the ניצוצות, the spark, are embarrassed from you. אז כובש אותם. Then you can conquer them. וזה הרמז שלח, לשון הפשטה. וישלחו ויפשיטו דגום אונקולוס וישלחהו. אונקולוס translate Shlach Lecha, meaning undress it. So when they came to Eretz Israel, when they came to the land of Israel, their mission was to undress the nitzot that fell down to Eretz Israel and being dressed by Amaleki, dressed by the Anakim, by the giant. Those are the klipot, those are the shell. But within those shell were a lot of very important spark that Hashem want Bnei Israel to elevate. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but that's also meant to be, if you look at it in this type of study. So it's also meant to be. But unfortunately, it didn't happen then. And it's waiting for us to do it every year. So remember, Shlach Lecha is all about the Messiah, Messiah King of David. Where is the Messiah King of David? It's inside of us. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to elevate those spark of Kedusha, holy spark that fell down through the Kelim HaNishbarim, that fell down from the broken desires that we have. Every day you want something else. You wake up, you want this, you want this, you want that. That's misleading you, unfortunately. But if you understand whatever that you want has within it a spark of Kedusha, you need to elevate. So don't go after what you want, just be aware. Okay, Hashem put that in my way, so I can elevate that spark on the head of the Messiah. And once we're able to elevate 288 spark in one year, in one shot, then Mashiach ben David will be revealed himself. I want to leave you with the idea, a story. I heard this story 28 years ago. And it's, if I'm not mistaken, is Rabbi Naftali Merovshitz who tell the story, or another rabbi. So I don't want to mention the name of the rabbi because it can be a mistake. Story go like that. And that rabbi who tell the story was at that time 5 years old. And he saw his father leaving, and Motzai Shabbat, Saturday night, and he asked his father, can I come with you? He said, no, I'm going far. It's going to be late at night. He said, please, please, please. So he let him go with him. He said, if you come with me, you cannot speak. You can sit in the back of the wagon, lying down. Nobody should see you. And then we come back home. So he arrived. His father arrived to a place, and he said, Father, can I come with you? He said, no, you stay in the wagon. It's dark outside. He's scared. And then he arrived to this little home in the middle of nowhere. And a gentleman come out of the home, very young, looked very young. And his father talked to him. And they both talked to each other. And all what he can hear that the young man said to his father, so they don't want me yet. I cannot believe they don't want me. And the father said, I'm so sorry, but I try everything, but they don't want you yet, sir. I'm so sorry. And they both cry and hug each other. And his father go back with so much tears on the wagon. And the young gentleman go back to the house. He's witnessing his father crying the whole time till home. He's afraid to ask his father what just happened. Before they arrive home, he said, Father, am I allowed to ask a question now? He said, yes, you can talk now. He said, why you crying? And who is this person you just met? He said, son, I'm one of the 36 tzaddikim, and every year we meet the Messiah King of David, they reveal to us. And we have to report to him. So I went to report that the people in the village, all the spiritual people who observe, are not ready for him yet. And I had to tell him that they don't want him yet, just yet. And we both start to cry because I knew that there is chaos coming and we cannot bring the Messiah. And at that moment, the 5 years old he started crying together with his father. And to realize that the Messiah is waiting for our 288 spark to elevate it to everything you do, to the mitzvot, aseh lo ta'aseh, to midrashim you read, to study of Torah, to good behavior, to controlling your temptation, to not hating your temptation, because the temptation was given to you. So you can elevate things you need to elevate. B'ezrat Hashem, that all of us will be able this week to add a spark of Kedusha to the Mashiach ben David. Thank you for listening.